Welcome to my dad's car. Enjoy!
Welcome to My Dad's Car, a podcast discussing our personal relationship with automotive nostalgia. And you know what? It doesn't even have to be about your dad's car. It can be your mum's, your grand's, your parents', guardians, or even a neighbour's. If it made an impression, let's talk about it.
Good evening.
Hello, sir. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Sorry about that. I'd slipped my mind and I was busy making a flyer for work. So
Oh, very nice.
all interesting stuff.
Not dissimilar to what I was up to.
Oh, really? Yours has probably got a better yield than mine.
Yeah, so February, we're 2 years old.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
We walk in soon.
yeah, we should be, yeah. We'll be out of nappies this time next year. Fingers crossed. So yeah, we'll be 2 years old. So it'd be good to do a reflection on that at some point.
Yeah.
But the other thing I was thinking of was, this idea that I gave a load of books about cars to the school.
Mm.
And we've spoken before about how we think it's kind of key to get kids interested in vehicles in general, really, at a younger age.
Mm.
And yeah, maybe that's a good way to kind of pass that influence on, is sort of put books under their noses while they're meant to be learning.
Yeah. It's a good idea, I think. And I suppose like the amount of cars now that are potentially going off the road, you kind of think that there are lots of sort of donor cars that could be used in like educational circumstances that students could practice on, couldn't they? And just get their hands dirty, that sort of thing.
Just turn their playgrounds into scrapyards, is that what you're saying?
Potentially, yeah, they're good spaces, aren't they?
Oh, we could have a climbing frame, or we could have 3 Mondeos.
Yeah.
The headmaster's gone for 3 Mondeos, it was cheaper.
Where's Alex? I think he's on that Montego over there. Yeah.
So that's kind of the school of thought, really, was, throw that around for 10 minutes. We'll make some sort of bonus episode out of it.
Yeah.
And it came from clearing out some stuff in my loft. We've got planned works for loft conversion later in the year.
Oof.
And thought we'd try and get in there early, do a bit of sorting.
Mm.
And have a route through this. And there was some stuff from kind of when I was a kid. There was also a whole load of car books and stuff from my dad's as well.
Yeah.
So I'm such a hoarder. It's ridiculous. I've got a big pile of magazines next to me here. Such a hoarder. But you kind of do have to just get rid of things. And if you're going to put a room in your loft, then obviously there can't be years and years worth of stuff left up there.
No.
So, okay, yeah, I could give those to charity. And then I thought, actually, I might just run it by the school and see if they want some books like that. Because I remember when I was at school, the option for kind of fact books, if you like, non-fiction, wasn't particularly great.
No.
And you've probably got your choice of atlases and maybe a bit about some animals, but not a lot with regards to vehicles. So, mentioned the idea of donating some car books, and the guy seemed really keen. So, yeah, took a rucksack and a Tesco bag for life down to them. And, hopefully that will be infiltrating the school library shortly.
Yeah. No, that's nice to know that they've gone to a new good home, isn't it? Rather than just sort of in recycling or just sitting in a charity shop forever.
Well, that's the thing. If it goes to a charity shop, someone like me walks along and thinks, oh, yeah, that'll look nice on my shelf or in my loft, and then buys it, and it never gets read.
Yeah.
You buy it for a quid. The monetary value of it's pretty low, really. But if it's in a school, there's 100 kids per year group or whatever it is. It could be there for the next 20 years.
Yeah. You never know, that might spark something in someone, mightn't it? That someone might get hold of a book and plant the first seed of being interested in some sort of automotive subject.
Yeah, and obviously, we grew up in a pre-internet age, but that was the internet, wasn't it, really, back then?
Yeah. That's funny. My brother sent me a link to an advert on Gumtree. It's this week, actually.
Black and white picture, I hope.
Not far off. It's to a series of... So back in the 90s, my brother and I used to get this magazine. I think it's called Tree of Knowledge.
Okay.
And it used to have sort of X amount of pages that you'd take out of it, and then they would be put into a big sort of ring binder thing.
Yeah.
So there were like 5 of these huge sort of folders that we had that just had sort of all general knowledge throughout.
Was it one of those things where you collect things? It's like £5 a month, and then at the end of it, you spent £1,000 on something you could have bought for £300.
I think it probably was. It was that sort of thing. But obviously, we lived in a newsagents, didn't we? So it's sort of
yeah.
buy none, get one free sort of deal.
These are the ones they didn't collect.
But yeah, I mean, these binders were big old things, and that was kind of our internet back in the day. If we had some sort of research that needed doing for school, that would be the go-to. And more often than not, it wouldn't have the answer in there. So
I remember when we first got a PC, which must have been sort of 95, 96, something like that, and we had Encarta. Did you
Yeah.
ever get Encarta on a disc?
Yeah. No, they had it at the school, and then it would be a case of, because there'd be one computer at the school, and it would be like, who were the two lucky people that would go to the library and be able to look up something on Encarta? Yeah.
Yeah. I remember there was a little kind of video clip. So there was a David Bowie page, and there was a little video clip with a David Bowie. I can't remember what it was now.
Right.
And you could print off pictures. We would just print a picture off it just because you could.
I think my first PC experience at home was I had some sort of money in this post office account. I basically used every single penny to buy a PC for myself, purely to play quite a famous football management game called Championship Manager.
Okay.
So that would have been late 90s, yeah. And that was a real highlight of my life, actually, at that point. I was This is pre-internet as well. This is just sort of CD-ROM and away you go. Yeah, many an hour spent sitting there.
On the game front, I remember we had a video shop that was up the road from us, and we hired a PS1, similar sort of time, with Gran Turismo. Me and my brother played that all weekend.
Yeah.
Which was again different times.
So I remember a lot of late nights on Gran Turismo, actually.
Yeah.
Into the small hours. Yeah. But we digress.
So yeah, the thought is, if you've got books tucked away in your loft or on the shelves that you're never reading, then rather than take them to the charity shop, not wanting to do the charities out of any money, but for the greater good, go and give them to a school, because it could actually make a difference. It could keep this hobby alive for multiple generations.
Yeah. It seems weird to me that going back to our day at school, I mean, certainly for myself speaking, there was no sort of car-related education from what I remember. Like, there was nothing to do with these are your fundamentals of, servicing a car, which seems crazy, to be honest. 99% of people would have been going to get a car as soon as they got to 17 or 18, whatever it was. So you prepare for sort of food tech, wouldn't you, or knitting? But there was nothing for the cars, which seems bizarre.
How was the football enthusiast served with the school library? Anything in there?
I can't remember, to be honest. I imagine there would have been something with
biography of Emlyn Hughes or something.
Yeah. It's probably something with like Gary Lineker on the front, or I don't really remember. I think it was all just sort of fictional stuff in the library from memory.
Roy of the Rovers.
Yeah.
And Match magazine.
Yeah. I was a weekly subscriber to Match magazine. That was another highlight.
Obviously.
I used to bring it into school, actually. I think we used to be Tuesday mornings, used to get it. And we used to sit in school sort of in register time and there always used to be a quiz in the back.
Yeah.
We used to do. And I remember there'd be 4 of us sitting there. We just run through the little quiz each week. Simpler times, Andy.
Yeah, indeed. Were you one for taking the poster out the middle?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My entire room was covered in posters. I don't think there was a spare patch of wall.
Oh, really?
No.
Were you team loyal, though? You'd only put up Arsenal?
Yeah, just be the Arsenal. Yeah, it'd be littered with posters. And do you remember those little football big head?
Yeah.
Used to have quite a few of those back in the day as well.
Were you one for Sabutio?
Yeah, I did inherit a Sabutio from my eldest brother. I think I've still got it, actually. But most of them get trodden on.
So, yeah, I must have one somewhere.
And actually, I think like majority of the teams as well would be like, you might have 7 Arsenal players, and you can see that someone's got a Liverpool player and just painted white socks on to make it look like because somebody probably got snapped.
Yeah. It was always, you needed a massive space, didn't you, to play it, and then the ball would go under the sofa.
Yeah, it'd be unplayable on carpet as well. It'd be too bobbly and sort of.
Yeah.
I remember as well in the mid-90s there was a rival to Sabutio that came along, and it was it worked with magnets. So the players are on these sort of little platforms, like circular platforms.
Okay.
And they'd have a metal strip around the bottom. So the ball would stick to that strip, but then you could push the head of the player down and it would sort of compress and the ball would whiz across.
Okay.
It was called something like Proactive Soccer or something like that.
I don't think I ever played it.
What was it called?
I had Sabutio, but the Sabutio, a little bit like a snooker table or a pool table. Like, it's all very well having the space for it.
Yeah.
But you've then got to be able to get round to be able to position the flick.
Quite right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless you can rotate the entire pitch, which
yeah, that would have been easier, wouldn't it?
yeah,
They probably made it too big.
I think so. It was played at quite a serious level, wasn't it, by some people, I think, like sort of World Cups and
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
I guess like any of those things, it's only a few steps away from darts, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
And it's also, I guess, shares a lot of that fanaticism with people who paint models of strange creatures that live in the woods and roll multiple-sided dice and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Warhammer type things. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, I do seem to remember my dad using Sabutio to teach me the offside rule.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. But I think I was small and asked him, what is offside? And then he said, oh, get the Sabutio out, and then demonstrated with the defenders and the last man, all that business. So, yeah, opened up a world of pain for me.
So, yeah, that's kind of in short that idea. Good to talk about that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely pleasing to hear that they've gone to a good home.
Yeah, I think there must be a lot of people like me who've got those books. They're never going to read them, but yeah, do something useful with them. Give them to the school library. Yeah,
better than sitting in a loft forever. Funny enough, I've been in my loft a lot recently because a bit quieter this time of year, so I'm sort of having a bit of a clear out. And the amount of stuff that you just think it's up there now. It's never gonna be used by anyone in this house. Just get rid.
Yeah.
But you do just out of sight, out of mind.
I was talking with my wife the other day about kind of school books and stuff like that. You're like, oh, I'll keep you keep your school books, don't you? And you think, oh, at some point, actually, it would be nice to show those to your kids. But then if you think at some point your parents will turn around to you and go, do you want my school books? You're like, well, no, what do I want them for?
Yeah.
I've got absolutely no interest in looking at your schoolwork, sorry.
Totally useless. Yeah.
So from that point of view, yeah, what do our children want with our school books? So yeah, when I find those, hoof them straight in the bin.
Yeah, you're literally going to flick through them, probably think, and then let's just get rid.
I'll be looking for the doodles of little cars on 3-spoke wheels. I'll have drawn on pretty much every page. So yeah. Okay, John, lovely to chat as ever.
All right, mate. Speak soon.
Yeah, speak soon. Cheerio.
Toodle pip. Bye.
Roll the credits.
Thank you for listening to My Dad's Car. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please support us. Buy us a coffee and subscribe. And tell all your friends.